Howdy folks, and welcome back to Now My Arc. Today we are taking a break from our 50 States tour. And although I invite you to go back and watch that series, at least the progress we're making if you would like. But today we're taking a break, as I said, and we are in Sweden today. We're going to fly across some water, and we're going to end up in Finland. So we're starting at Umeå with an umlaut, Sweden, and we're going to end up in a bunch of words I can't pronounce. Finland. I think one of the words is Kruunupyy or something like that. I apologize. I know I have viewers from this area. I have subscribers from this area, so I apologize for not knowing how to pronunciate the cities that you are probably from or nearby. So anyway, I apologize for pronunciation. But anyway, moving along. So we're just having a little tour of the area. You notice that the auto gen is different now. In X-Plane 11.10 or 20, they updated the auto gen for Europe to look more European. So you can tell by looking at the screen that we're not in the United States, just by looking at the auto gen. So that's cool. We haven't really seen this much yet. We haven't gotten too far into Europe since the recent updates. We've done some African stuff and Canadian stuff, but we're finally in Europe. I'm very excited. We're going to fly this little leg from Sweden to Finland, and then we're going to kind of stick around this area for the next couple flights. So anyway, hopefully you enjoy this. I'm looking at the fields now, and they look just as nice. Road weather is turned on. We have a 5-knot wind from about 200 degrees or so. Same weather conditions at our destination, unless it updates and changes. But I looked ahead and refreshed for each area, and that's what it says, and that's what the MEDAR says in real life, so it actually matches the MEDAR in real life. But anyway, I am all over the place today because it's way past my bedtime, but I'm flying anyway, and I'm just excited to be doing this. So without further ado, let's get started. We are going to get very quickly closer to our B1900D by Carenado. X-Plane 11 version. I love this plane. I call it the frame rate killer, but I've made some changes to my settings, and it should be just fine. Whoever parked this thing got really close to that hangar. In fact, they might even be inside. Yes, they are. They're inside the hangar. Oh well, that person hopefully can get written up and have corrective action instead of just being fired. But anyway, plane should fly just fine. What are we doing? I have my checklist out. Everybody's boarding. They're hopping inside. Looks something like this. And we're looking for a 4 o'clock flight. So it's like 3:42 right now, I think, in the sim. Otherwise, let's hop up front and get our fuel going here. So it's a 120 nautical mile flight. So that's about 45-minute flight time, I think. But we're going to go at least an hour and a half, hour 45. We'll just leave it the way it is. Yep. Good. All right. Yeah, it's okay. It's been a couple minutes. We have 14 minutes to get out of here to make our 4 o'clock flight time. Otherwise, there's information of the flight right there. If you're interested, you can pause the video and go back. I did bring my yoke into the main flying view now. So if it goes crazy and starts to wiggle around, we know I'm having that yoke problem. In fact, there it is right there a little bit. Until straightened out and smoothed out when I was jostling things. I did go up to Windows and calibrated this thing. Spent a couple, more than a couple minutes. Spent a lot of time calibrating my yoke in Windows. It was way off. It wasn't even close to center or anything. So hopefully that'll make some changes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the last like 6 videos where the airplane went out of control, and it's the yoke. And if I like bump my throttle really fast or something, it fixes it. But I can't be doing that in flight, especially landing. So if we see my yoke going like this, which I'm doing on purpose, but then we like jostle one of these, see how it's doing it now. It smooths out. Very strange. Anyway, hopefully that doesn't come up. But if it does, that'll be something to talk about. All right, let's get going here. I am completely disorganized in my narration today. I apologize. But anyway, let's get going. Battery on, master lights, everything. Let's actually look like this. Tail flight can come on. Recon can come on. The rest of that will stay off for right now. Cabin lights are the way we want them. Fasten seatbelts should come on now, probably. What else do we want to turn on up there? That's actually fine at the moment. I'm just checking my checklist. I kind of got off already. Yep, that's fine for the moment. Oh, I got to move my keyboard over. I rearranged my microphone, by the way, so that... Oh, and I just smacked my microphone. I rearranged my desk first flight, rearranging everything. Hopefully it works out okay. All right, let's see here. Options, remove static elements, close the doors. Why didn't that work? There we go. Close the baggage door. The rest will catch from inside. So actually go to this preset. I think I have to come down here. There it is. There it is. And then we can actually come to this preset, and up here's a click spot somewhere for the door. There it is. Just like that. What is next? Emergency lights can go to normal now. Normal. There we go. And arm. There we go. What is next? The EFKK. Pull this down. And again, it's for 4K resolution. That's why it's off the screen. I asked the developer about that. Hide that for now. And parking brake is set. There we go. Fuel switches. Come over here. On. Pumps to auto. Your thing's winding up. View the full. View the auxiliary. We use the auxiliary tank first. So we want to view, and this isn't selecting tanks, it's just viewing the tanks. I know I say that every time, but not everybody watches every single video, so I repeat myself a lot, but that's okay. And let's see what is next after that. Prop lever. And everything, make sure everything is reset the way it should be. There we go. Let's see if my yoke screwed up. It is not. Good. Engine igniters. Here we go. Let's get this thing started. Ignition switch, hold until 15% and get that conditioner in. Now, as we've talked about before, what you're supposed to do is the conditioner is supposed to go low idle. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't always catch, so we have to go to full idle and then bring it back. But we're going to try it the way we're supposed to. So 15, you're supposed to bring it to low idle before it gets down to 12 and it's not catching, so we're just going to go full idle, and I need to do it again. So one of the updates to X-Plane changed that because it was working for a very brief amount of time, and now it's not working again. So we're going to go all the way to full idle, and then we may or may not bring it to low idle to taxi. You're supposed to bring it to low idle to taxi, but the way it behaves, sometimes it don't bother. Levels off at 63. Let me turn on the generator. Left engine. Now this will go faster because my conditioners are both on the same axis, so it's already forward, but I'll still hold it to about 15 to get this thing going. And there we go. I'll let go. And it's stabilized at 63, so we'll turn on the left generator, close the cover, and the igniters can come off now. That's to save on the engine wear and tear. Avionics switch can come on. AC bus can come on. There we go. Sync the gyros, which you're not supposed to have to do in this aircraft, but ever since X-Plane 11.10, there's been an added realism where your gyros got to sync with your compass, or whatever order that goes in. This aircraft is not supposed to be a problem, but because of the sim, it wasn't simulated before, now it is. This aircraft doesn't have that written in the code, so we have to sync the gyros. Anyway, I've mapped it to a keyboard command on my keyboard. Alright, what is next? Turn off external power. There we go. Rudder boost, which is between the seats. There we go. Climbing on the co-pilot side. Turn on the heaters and blowers and the temps and the stall horn. And while we're here, we'll test overspeed. And we'll test stall. And let's put this on manual, otherwise it gets like 120 degrees in here. I'm not joking. If you ever come down, look at the cabin temp. Ooh, the heater just turned on. Did you hear that blower? That was awesome. Let's go down to decrease so we don't swelter ourselves. What is next? The flight plan. So we're going to come over here, and we are going to get our flight plan in. I do have a flight plan, kind of, sort of. Alright, let's do flight plan, and let's clear what we have. Menu, clear, delete, whatever. Flight plan. That's where we are. We are going to put in the GPS approach for runway 19 at our destination because the weather is 210, wind is 210, 6 knots or 7 knots. As long as that doesn't change, runway 19 is the closest we can get to 21, so that's how we chose that runway. We're going to put in a way to get there before we enter the approach. So we're going to go to Ritat, or the right touch. Let's get that in there first. Just like so. Finland. Next is our FAF earleave. Let's get that in there. Well, I just realized it's probably our leave. Where's V? Before W? Before W. There we go. So we want to be at 1,600 feet there, and then it's the runway. So let's get the destination airport in there. And that happens to be Echo Foxtrot Kilo. There we go. That's the word I can't pronounce. Everything's as I expect, so therefore I did something right. Let's go direct to Raitat, Retut. I don't know. Is that course? Yeah, whatever. Alrighty. 72 nautical miles to where we approach. This is way shorter than 120 nautical miles. Because that is 4.8. 4.6 plus, I don't know what that's going to be, another 8 plus 72 is like way less than 100. Anyway, that's fine. It's always nicer when the flights are shorter than longer. I've had that happen before where I was going to do a 20-minute flight. It turned out to be an hour and 20 minutes. We've dealt with that. We're not going to worry about it. All right, so we'll do a vertical nav once we're in the air. So we're not going to do that right now. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? Flight plan, yes, we are going to use autopilot on GPS, so switch that to GPS. The Avidyne, let's get this decluttered a little bit. Weather does show up on there if we had any, by the way. It has worked. Radios and instruments, nothing. Everything's going to be through GPS. Altimeter and barometer does matter because we have real world weather turned on. And let's click on U. And what is it? We're going to take off runway 14, by the way, because that's closest to 20. 22 feet, 220. Okay, 22, runway 14, still close. Well, let's see. 22 to 32 is 10. 14 to 22 is 8. So yeah, we'll take off runway 14. Altimeter, 29er, 8, 5. 29er, 8, 5. So there's 29er. I'm going to go up 8.5. There we go. Does it really say we're at sea level? Or what is that? 10, 20, 30. That's 100, so that's 22 feet. Yeah, 22 feet. That's what it said. Excellent. I like when things work out the way they're supposed to. We can also see we need to turn right to get to runway 14. Don't mind looking at that out of the way. Alright, there we go. Test over. We already did that. So I've been doing that in a different order. Here we go. If we do this, we can test all the caution lights, make sure everything is working the way it should. Clear those out of there. What is next on the checklist? Second page, cabin pressure. Here we go. Bleed air valve's already on. Come down here. We're going to fly at a regular 16,000 feet. So let's make this 17,000. You have to pretend there's an arrow there. There's supposed to be a plastic cover with an arrow. This thing we have to adjust as we go. You're supposed to just go up all the way and come back a little bit. And it'll be fine, but it's not simulated that way. What you're doing, though, is you're coming up here. And you're keeping these two needles, there's another one back there, out of the red. That's what you're doing, so you don't pass out. Alright, auto, what am I doing? Auto what? Auto feathered arm. Where's that on here? Way down here. Okay, I need a bigger monitor, can't see. Generator tie is closed. I think it's that one. What's that red one? Bus sense, okay, never mind. Here we go, tags, boom, boom, auto, stall, PyTot. We leave the rest off, at least I do. Prop sync on, there we go. Autopilot, set cruise, we're gonna go right to 16,000 feet. No stopping, just go and get up there and get the show on the road. Autopilot and set cruise. So autopilot, we'll set up right now. Is that still working out? It is. It's not shaky or anything. Autopilot, let's pull it up. We're going to use nav, and we're going to climb in an aggressive 2,200 feet. Alt select is SkyMaxx selected, vertical speed selected. That's all you got to do. 2 buttons. Nav for our radio or GPS, and climb. That's it. Simple as that on autopilot. TCAS, we don't have any traffic, but if we did, it'd show up there. Taxi lights on. Nav, come on now. Taxi lights can come on now. Turn these things off, get half a frame back. Alright, props to taxi. Whoa, you don't use a preset for that. Props to taxi. Should change pitch a little bit. Let's do conditioners low idle. Just be realistic. but not cut. If it cuts off, we'll have to put them forward. Okay, it's going to stay running. It should be even lower down here, but I think it might cut off. No, it's going to stay running. Okay, good. Let's do that. Conditional low idle. Flaps down. We'll get one step flaps down right now as we are starting to taxi, and then we are done until we get down the runway. So let's use our taxi view. I'm going to taxi to the right, a hard right, I guess, and just follow some stuff. Ooh, because it's so far north, this is going to be a sunset flight, even though it's only 4 p.m. Nice. I forgot about that. Alrighty, which means this is the wrong season because it's summer now, and so the day should be extra long the farther north you go, right? So it should be sunset at like 10 p.m. or something, not 4. Anyway, whatever, I'm not going to argue with the sim. I guess I could see what the date is. Yeah, let's set this. What is it? It is June. What? Why would it be getting darker earlier? It should be getting darker later in the super north, when you're far north, right? Because in Minnesota, here in Minneapolis, sunset's not till like 8:30 or almost 9. And if you're going farther north, shouldn't it be later than that? Because our days are getting longer, aren't they? Yeah. Anyway, maybe because it's way past my bedtime. I don't know. But I'm backwards or the sim is backwards. But what is today? It's like May. I don't know. You're watching this way in the future, by the way. It's like May 6th right now. And why would it be dark? I don't want a night flight. Let's go to 2. 12, I mean. Okay. Anyway, there we go. We'll have kind of not really sunset, but sun coming down at some point. You can tell by the shadow on the plane is behind it a little bit. Anyway, that's weird. I got to research that. I'm really confused. You would think in the summer, when days are getting longer, it would be night later, right? Because in the middle of summer, they barely have night this far north. And in the winter, they barely have day this far north. And it's summer now in the northern hemisphere. Huh, anyway. Okay, that had nothing to do with Flight Simulator at all. Let's get going. We're going to taxi to the right. So we're going to release a parking brake and let this thing take us for a ride. And that line you see in the middle of your screen is the hangar doors. Because remember, we're in the hangar right now. And I have no yoke. It's doing that silly thing again. I'm going to stay inside so I can watch my yoke. Because you notice my rudder did nothing until I slammed the throttle back, and then rudder worked fine. So I don't know why it does that. But it's a problem because when we're trying to maneuver and make fine adjustments, especially at a landing, I can't have my yoke do whatever it wants. Alright, so I'm thinking this is parking over there. Yeah, that's parking over there. Let's try to hop outside now that everything is kind of smooth, but we have to move. We gotta get out of here. We're on the wrong side of the double stripe. So this is parking, but we also have to use this to get out. So there we go. Let's get out of here and connect with the actual taxiway. And then we will take off. I'm going to stick with you for a moment. I've been cutting out all my taxis. How about, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll have to make adjustments because there goes my, see what it wants. Anyway, I've been cutting out a lot of my taxis, so let's have a little chat. But I think our chat is going to be about a broken yoke configuration here. It's going to let me go left. It'll let me go left. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to back taxi, it looks like. To runway 14, which should still be to the right. I don't see any signs or anything. So I'm assuming still that 14 is to the right. Let's hop inside. Is my yoke going crazy? Nope. It's smooth. It's still. So that means everything should be stable. I don't like this angle. It's kind of pointing down. But I need to see that yoke so I know if I'm screwed up or not. Alrighty. Let's turn out here onto the runway for our back taxi. We'll have a little look around at the airport once we straighten out here. We'll try to get somewhere near the line. Man, this plane looks tiny on this wide runway. Wow. Alright. Let's see if I can do this. Let's use this preset. And if I want to go that way, I want to go that way backwards. Okay. There's the airport. We got some hills. I love the auto gen. That's more accurate now. What's this? A little bike trail? Well, let's get back in the center line. Interesting. Whoever modeled this airport is interesting. It's default airport, by the way. Alright, that's the UPS thing. That must be the mail area. And power lines suddenly stop. That's pretty interesting. And we're nowhere near the center line because I'm looking around. And this isn't going as well as planned. So I'm just going to hush up now and I'll meet you at the end of this runway. We're almost there. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out what all these bike trails are for. It can't be a taxi turnaround thing because one, we have lights here. Two, there's no way this plane would fit on those little paths. So I'm not sure what is going on there. But anyway, we're going to make the turn because these things can turn on a dime. And this is a really wide runway. So let's hop inside and get lined up here. And set the parking brake, but we have to slow down a little bit. But again, this plane will not stop. See, this is as slow as you can go until you hit the parking brake, and then you come to a screeching halt. That's just how it is. Ever since another update that did something else at some other time. All right, here we go. Flaps down. Yes, they are. Cabin lights set appropriately. Reading lights stay on, but cabin full and overhead and flood come off. And if you want to know what that looks like that. Both directions. There we go. And taxi lights, landing lights can come on now. So that goes to flight, off and on. Just like so. Anti-collision to flight, already did that. Trim for takeoff if you move this back just before center so that you can do your 2,200 feet approach. Climb heading bug. So what we do now is we click on here and we push heading. Sets us up for heading bug in case of screw up autopilot, so we will go straight. Start the stopwatch, which will work up to an hour. Why won't this work? There we go. Start the stopwatch. There's 1 second, 2 seconds, whatever. Alrighty. Conditioners to high idle. I'll let you watch that. There it is. Props forward, and my yoke isn't crazy. It's smooth. Means everything's working. And I have go written down. So here we go. Parking brake is off. Moving my throttles forward slowly. That seems to help the weird problem. Oh, and I have rudder control. Wow, I wasn't expecting to actually have rudder control this time. And I do, so let's make use of it and go straight. There we go. We are all ready to take off because we are STOL. Pull back. There we go. Goodness gracious, let's level off though. And let's try to do a 2,200 foot climb ourselves. I think. Come on, come down a little bit. Because I'm going to do a smooth handoff to autopilot. So let's do our 2,200 and autopilot now. It should turn us left, and it will. I am hands-free flying, gear up and flaps up, which I totally forgot to do. Because I haven't flown this thing in a very long time. Anyway, gear is up, flaps are up. There we go, I can hear them. We're climbing at 2,200. And we're all set. We're going to meet up with our GPS. We should straighten out in a moment if everything's appropriate. There we go. Good, let's have a look outside briefly before we do some engine management stuff. Ooh, I like the haze. It looks like the clouds kicked in. It wasn't cloudy when we started. But there we go. We are already on our way. Simple as that. As quickly as that. Let's hop inside, though, and get our props and throttles back so we don't blow things up. So starting at the top, we want everything in the green, at least for now. There we go. As long as you're in the green, you won't start on fire. You have 5 minutes to get that in the green, by the way. Alright, so let's start at the top. Green, 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 green. Fuel flow's good, and green. Boom! Just like that. Why are we kind of cockeyed, though? Look at, we're not level to go straight. Very interesting. Alrighty, let's see what do we need to look at. Let's set VNav. Set our vertical navigation. So let's do it for our final approach fix, which is our FAF. So we want to be at 1,600 feet above sea level at, is it this one? Yes. And we want to do 800 foot per minute drop, which is like this. So double check, 1,600 feet above sea level at there. 800 feet per minute. That's 16 will go down very, very, very quickly once we level off here. Man, this is a much shorter flight than I thought. Again, I'd rather have it be a shorter flight than a longer flight. Very cool. Wow, that's awesome. Alrighty, so you can see kind of we're just gonna make a turn and then another turn. So we're not gonna have a very long approach. It's only gonna be 4.5 miles, nautical miles, because we're coming in from the side. But that's plenty. I just have to make sure I have my gear down probably before we make that final turn and have our speed under control. So anyway, nothing left to do until we get close enough to the airport to get our landing barometer. And we're in the clouds ready. But otherwise, that is it. I want to keep an eye on our VNAV actually, because that's very close. And then we'll talk about top descent when it comes, and we'll talk about gear and flaps as we need to. We're going to have a short final, so we have to keep that in mind. We'll have to get that stuff down sooner and get our speed down sooner too. But otherwise, that is it. Our frame rates are dogging between the aircraft and the weather, but they're still usable. So I'm going to keep an eye on my yoke down there, make sure it doesn't do the crazy rocking thing. And as long as it stays smooth, we'll be able to land smoothly. If it goes nuts, we'll have to experiment with a solution and troubleshoot in the air, which is probably not what they recommend in real life, troubleshooting in the air. Although I guess that's what your emergency procedures are for. But I don't think they have emergency procedures for crazy yoke calibration in a sim. Anyway, that is it for me in terms of narration. You'll hear again from me after sightseeing at top of descent in, I don't know, that's going to go fast, like 8 minutes. See you then. Alright, so we just got to our altitude, now it's time to come down. I also did a few other things. I turned off landing lights at 10,000 feet, and I came down here and spun this thing around all the way back so that we are in the green there. So that's what we just did there. Time to come down. We're ready. So let's see, what do we want to do? We want to be at 1,600 feet, so let's come down here and do, not 16, yeah, 1,600. Yeah, from 16,000 to 1,600. Down we go. Down we go. There we go, and 800 feet per minute, except we're already way over, so let's bring back throttles to slow us down vertically. Let's come over here, bring this up, hit descend, 800 feet per minute. There we go. Alt select's already in there, VS already in there, nav still. So we are done with that. We'll just keep an eye on this. That's going to come down because I brought throttles back. So instead of making this higher in autopilot, from 800 to 11 or whatever, I'm just going to keep it at 800 and use my throttles. And if that comes down, I should have to make any adjustments so I can goose it again. We'll get some more speed vertically. But I slowed us down horizontally. I said that wrong. Horizontal speed. I slowed us down to buy us some time. Otherwise, I'm going to keep an eye on that. I'm not going to talk about it much anymore, though. It is time, though, to get our destination barometer. But I want to look outside quickly because we didn't get much of a chance to look outside. Like I said, this flight is much shorter than I thought. I must have been looking at the ferry route. That was 120 miles. Anyway, I love that we have overcast. I was hoping you see the water because we are flying over water. I think. Or is that the next flight? Oh my gosh. I can't remember where we are in the world. I'm so tired of GPS and instruments. Let's see that water down there? Sure looks like water down there. I can't tell. Anyway, I feel kind of silly. I think I'm confusing this flight with the next one. Anyway, my whole point is I'm glad we have overcast. We haven't had overcast in a long time, so it's kind of nice to see something different. But this is what it looks like with SkyMaxx 4.6, SkyMaxx Pro 4.6. I think it looks awesome. Absolutely love the overcast look. So anyway, we have to hop up front and manage this aircraft. We're coming down as planned. There we go. That's almost at 800 on the VSR. When that's 800 on the VSR, I'm going to goose it so we can get some more horizontal speed back, because right now we're moving pretty slowly. Otherwise, at 10,000 feet, I will put landing lights back on. Let's do destination barometer now. Let's see here. Yeah, we're flying over water. I thought so. Yeah, there's land, there's water, there's land, and there's an insane crosswind. 30-knot crosswind. Look how the airplane's all cockeyed. Actually, I can't pick up our destination yet. We're gonna have to come back to that to get our destination barometer. Alright. But yes, we are over water. Clearly. Okay. I feel better about that now. Alright. We're slowly coming down the VSR. We'll keep the 800 the same. I just want to get more vertical speed. Horizontal speed. Someday I'll get that right. Otherwise, landing and approach. Lights at 10,000. We're too early for that. Too early for flaps. Too early for gear. Too early for our destination barometer. So I'm just going to sit here and stare at my VSR because it'll increase my frame rate a little bit. And I'll catch you in a couple minutes. Alright, we're coming up on 10,000 feet, so let's turn the landing lights on now. And I think we can probably get our destination barometer. Yes, we can. Echo Foxtrot Kilo Kilo. We're landing on runway 19. And it's like 83 feet. And 2982. Variable 100. Oh, wind is 190. So runway 19 is perfect. Okay. Variable, that must be like changes of wind. Okay. 2982, that's what we're here for though. So 2982, there we go. 10,000 feet. Now this did go crazy. I gave us more speed because it was taking forever. So we do have to play with this. I did bring that up to 1200. We should be popping out of these clouds any minute though. At least I sure hope we are. We're 4 minutes from our first little turn, and then in this little leg here we really gotta slow down and maybe even get flaps and gear out, because this is only 4.8 or 4.6 nautical miles, this little thing. So we really gotta be ready for that. And what are we doing here? 14. Yeah, we're not coming down quite steep enough, so let's slow down just a hair to line this up. It's going to come down. We want to be about 1200 because that's what I'm set for. Really, I should make this 14 because that's 14, but that's kind of steep, at least for what I'm trying to do. So I'll just slow down because we need to slow down anyway. Let's just keep that there now. And as long as we're at 1600 feet by this next waypoint, which is just coming into view, that's what we're looking for. So, okay. Looks like we're about to pop down through these clouds. At least it looked like for a second we were, but otherwise, what else do we need to do? We're still on our auxiliary tank. I put in way more fuel than we would possibly need. My yoke has not gone crazy yet, but it doesn't seem to go crazy until we're ready to land, so that's what I'm worried about. Otherwise, popping out of the clouds. We're just gonna wait till we pop out of the clouds, have something to look at, and as soon as we get to this first fix, not the fix, the next waypoint, then we gotta start managing things and checking them out. So I'll see you in a moment. Alright, as amazing as the scenery is right now, we have to get ready to make this turn and slow ourselves down, which is what I'm doing slowly. I don't know why the wind is blowing us all over the place up here, but I guess that's what the light and variable means in the sim, is we get blown around like crazy, even though it's barely supposed to be anything. But some awesome views coming down through these clouds. Well, of course the view is gone. Oh, there you can see a little bit. A little bit of land through the clouds. That's pretty awesome. What do we have on the other side? Same thing, just with an engine in the way. Alright, but ready to make this turn. And we're still at 1223 coming down, so my descent is good. Alright, what do we got for speed? We're still cooking along. We're going to bring that down in a moment. As soon as we make this turn, we're going to start slowing down. I just don't want to do it quite too soon. Alright, turn in 3 seconds. Let's look out the window for this. Nice. Bringing back throttles slightly so we can start slowing down a little bit. Plaster our faces against the window so we can look out a little bit better. And we will level off here in a moment, and then we'll jump back up front. And we'll continue managing the aircraft. Just wanted to see this awesome scenery, because that's what it is. Very cool. Let's hop up front and see where we're at. We're still booking right along, so let's slow us down a little bit. A minute and a half. Yeah, see, that's going to come down very quickly. Good. Let's bring this up then so we don't come down too soon. Bring the throttles back so I can manage them better. And here we go. We're all on our own for vertical navigation now. Minute 36 to get down. Wow, we got to get down. What do we got to get down? 1,600? So that's 1,600 feet. We have a minute and a half to do it. So that would be 800 feet per minute. Okay. No, that'd be 2 minutes. 8,000, 16, half again, 1,200 feet per minute or so. Anyway, we're going to keep coming down the way we are. Once we get to a minute, I can recalculate because that's easier calculation. But we're slowing down. I'm going to get gear down and flaps down in a moment because we're so close to the airport, which we can probably see if we know where to look, I would think, right? It's out there somewhere. We're relying on GPS anyway, so well, let's get gear down now. That'll cause some drag. Ooh, there we go. More awesome auto gen. Man, that is so nice. Let's look outside super fast. There's the airport right there. Right above the center of your screen. Quick look around because we're not going to sightsee once we turn on a final. We'll just have to use this as our sightseeing. I wonder if this will make a good screenshot. I don't have screenshots like this. There we go. Alright, let's hop in. What are we doing? 46 seconds. We're going to be there. Pretty close anyway. Let's get first set of flaps down. Autopilot hates that. Alloys landing lights are on. Gears down. First set of flaps down. We'll do the second set of flaps at the very last minute. Let's get our throttles going to make up for that drag. We are going to be, yeah, we're going to be pretty close. 32 seconds, and we have to get down 500 feet or so. Yeah, good. We're going to be right on target. Give or take a foot or two. I'm going to keep my speed where it's at, just because of the short final. Move the second set of flaps at the last minute. As soon as you get lined up, I'll kill autopilot, try to come in for a manual landing. Now, if the sim report here is right, we really shouldn't have any crosswind at all. We'll see how this goes. I will talk briefly about getting sucked down in this aircraft. There's an issue with turboprops with some payload aircraft. This means one of them where if you're too close to the ground at idle, you will get sucked down even though you will land at idle in real life. So what you gotta do to make up for it is come in shallow and then just goose the daylights out of it. I'm killing autopilot, by the way. Goose the daylights out of it just before you touch down, and you can smooth it out. I do have videos on how to do that and talking about that. I only get it about half the time though. Half the time I get sucked down, half the time I land smoothly. It just depends on the day apparently. Alright, my yoke is not going crazy. It's completely smooth. So here we go. Start slowing down. We want our approach speed to be that second flag. And then we want to cross the threshold at about 110 and then land at 104. That first flag is at 104. However, because of the problem in the sim, man, this is acting like it's insanely windy. I'm getting blown all over the place. And it's not the yoke, because see how it's smooth in the screen? Anyway, let's level off a little bit here. We're right on the pappy. So I'm going to come down a little below 100 and then goose it so we can touch down at 104 or so and try to land smoothly. We'll see. Like I said, 50% of the time I get sucked down, 50% of the time I'm able to overcome. In real life, you would not have any of those issues, and that's after talking to a real-life turboprop pilot. You should land at idle, and that's what we're going to try to do after I finagle this a little bit and goose it. Man, this is windier than the dickens. I only have first set of flaps because it's so windy. But I will do second set of flaps in a minute, like right now. Real-life pilots, I guess, hate using 2 sets of flaps, but if they have to, they'll do it at the last second. There's 2 and 2 on the Pappy. I'm trimming down. This crosswind is insane from the right, so if I want to do a crosswind landing, it'll be right wing down, left rudder, right main first, and then a firm touchdown. So we're not looking for a greaser. We got 3 white now. I'm going to try to do crosswind landing. Again, sometimes I get those, sometimes I don't. We're going to try. So here we go. I'm going to come down, and then as soon as we get here, I'm going to goose in the throttle because we're getting sucked down. See? There we go. There we go. Oh, too much throttle. Now we're getting... see, that's the other problem, is if you do too much. So here we go. We're just going to go idle, and we're just going to come down. Yeah, see, we got sucked down. See? That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that's terrible. Let's just land. Let's just land. Let's land. That nose wheel is trashed. Reversers, brakes. Yeah, see. So I'll tell you what happened. I tried to circumvent the problem by goosing the throttle, but instead what happened is I goosed it a little too much, so I ended up floating above the runway. So then I pulled back throttle just to land at that point, because I didn't care at that point. And then we got sucked straight down, like straight down, not pointed down, but straight down. And then because of that we bounced. So that's what I'm talking about, the suction thing. It's real. It actually is a problem. But anyway, let's bring conditioners back to idle here. Props back to taxi. Not idle, low idle. Props back to taxi. Flaps are already in. Let's see, where are we going to land? Where are we going to taxi to, though? Oh, this isn't a modeled airport. I thought it was. I don't even see, like, 2D stuff. Okay, there's nothing at all. Alrighty, well, there isn't even taxiways. Well, let's turn around a back taxi, and perhaps everything is just way back on the other side. Because this would be a sizable runway. Very interesting. Alright, we'll keep landing lights on since we're back taxiing on the runway. But otherwise, let's hop out here. And let's back taxi a little bit. Let's see if there's a place to park. Alright, looks like we have a turn off here. So it is a 2D airport at least. Which means it's a port over from like the X-Plane 9 days or whatever. But it's better than nothing. And let's get off of here. Hop inside. Now I don't have a co-pilot, but I'm going to try to do all this as best I can. My brakes like are barely working. There we go. I'm going to look up here if we can. Turn on the taxi lights, turn off the landing lights, bring these to ground, turn all the lights on. Are we rolling? Yeah, we're rolling. Turn all these lights on, turn all these lights on. And as we're back taxiing, I stopped the clock already, so it's 26:46 on the time. And what do we have while we roll away here for... nope, everything's good. We already have the conditioners low idle, so here we go. We're just going to kind of hop out in this area of the airport and park. Have to pretend there are buildings there. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Anyway, looking around at the scenery. There isn't a whole lot of scenery, but okay, now we're going to go fast. My goodness sakes. Let's see, where would we be parking? That'd be another taxiway, so let's just park like here. We'll just park right here, but then we'll turn sideways. Yeah, there's a road right out there too. We'll just turn sideways. Maybe there's a parking lot there, that's why there's a little U, and people can come pick up their passengers who are scared out of their minds after that 20-foot drop from the sky. Alright, let's see. Slow down, and parking brake should stop us. And it did. There we go. How do we shut this thing down? Turn off. Well, first we'll bring conditioners and props back. There we go. Then we'll turn all the lights off. Oh. Why didn't the battery keep things going? Strange. Did I miss something? Anyway, lights. What's left of the lights. Oh, we have lights. Okay. They'll stay on, they'll stay on. That can stay, that can stay. We'll keep all that the way it is. Fuel shut off and props back. I did. External power, I did, even though it acted strange for me. Anyway, come down here. Nope, this one. Battery off. It should be fine, right? There we go. External power, so we still have our lights, though. As we should. Okay. Let's see. I should actually have avionics come off first before I turn off the battery, probably. That would save on wear and tear on some components. Let's open up these doors. Whoa, we're kind of on our knees here. Begging for mercy after our horrific touchdown. Come out here. Spin around, set the static elements, and open the baggage door. And there you go, everyone from Sweden. Welcome to Finland. Hope you enjoyed the flight. I know I did. It was fun seeing that overcast sky. I haven't seen overcast sky in SkyMaxx Pro for a really long time, so that was awesome. So anyway, if you are a regular subscriber, thank you for continuing to support. If you have by accident, please like, please subscribe, please turn on notifications so you can tell me to upload the next video. Our next video will be in the same area. We're going to hang out in Finland for a bit before we go back to our 50 states tour. Hope you enjoyed the flight. I sure did. I'll catch you on the next one.